Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. The WWE has Survivor Series coming at us, and it's just a little bit over 1 week away. And it's a shame that they gave us such a really shit build, that these shows leading up to Survivor Series are just absolute garbage, when the Survivor Series card itself is actually shaping up to be very interesting and full of a lot of really good matchups that we should be getting excited for, but we can't get excited for these matches because they're not giving us any real reason. All they're doing is muddying the waters, they're making things confused, and they're turning shit blue, and we're going to talk about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show SmackDown on Fox Review Friday night. Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. I can't believe exactly how bored I was tonight during this episode of Friday Night SmackDown. It's almost as if the WWE's got an inner brand war battle going on, and it's not to see brand supremacy, it's to see who can put on the most bullshit wrestling show of the week. I can't believe SmackDown has become just as bad, if not worse, than Monday Night Raw, and they're doing it in 2 hours instead of 3. They should get a special award for that. They're boring the shit out of me in what is it, like 2/3 the amount of time. Takes them 2/3 as long to piss me off and almost put me to sleep. And that's including a final segment with Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. So Bray Wyatt shows up on SmackDown tonight in the Firefly Funhouse, and he turns the Universal Championship blue. Now, the problem with this is not that they turned it blue. That seems very obvious. SmackDown is the blue brand. Why would you have a blazing red title belt as the lead championship on your blue designated brand? So they did what would be the most obvious thing, and they turned the Universal Championship into the BLUniversal Championship. But the problem with this is that this is not just any normal person you are giving it to. You have failed in an opportunity to do something creative, to do something different, and to prove to me and the other naysayers and to the rest of the sledgeheads worldwide that you are not creatively inept, and that you know that a character like The Fiend should have a unique and different championship title, just like his current opponent that he's going into Survivor Series against had for himself when Daniel Bryan won the Universal Championship, or the WWE Championship rather, as the new Daniel Bryan. He had it turned into a cardboard paper championship that looked fantastic with the wooden plates and the aqua stones, the turquoise stones. So you know that they can do these things, and when you have a prime opportunity to do this thing, you don't. And while the blue definitely looks better than the red, this is just a failed opportunity and a prime example that you could point to show you just how stupid this company is. And they wasted no time. They wasted no time getting that friggin' Shop Zone ad up there on the Twitter and on the Facebook. Hey, did you see the new blue belt? Go fucking buy the toy version of it. I hate the championships in their current incarnation. I don't like the Universal Championship design. I don't like the WWE Championship design. And they're just toys. They look like toys. You had Bray Wyatt actually pull it out of a box of toys tonight, further cementing my point. Why would you ever put the Universal Championship, or any championship for that matter, in a toy box? Because it don't mean shit, that's why. And that's exactly what it is. It's just a blue-colored toy for you to go out and buy your little kids this Christmas season. They got the Universal Championship in red. It's not red anymore. Now we need to sell the blue ones. They had that damn ad up in like 43 seconds after that segment. Unbelievable. You think I'm wrong about that? How about we talk about the women for a second?
Oh, this was a great segment, man. I love seeing Sasha Banks and Rhea Ripley. This was fantastic. This was one of the best moments of the night.
You can hear some people saying that.
Oh, it's good, such good stuff, man.
Nothing good about this except for the in-ring portion of it. The girls put on a decent match, but why is this match happening? Why is this match happening? If you look at it on paper, Shayna Baszler comes out tonight, right? She's going to confront Bayley. And Bayley gets blocked off by 4 women from NXT. 4 women who currently hate Shayna Baszler's friggin' guts. What, NXT only doesn't get along with each other on Wednesdays? If it's not a Wednesday, we can all be friends. We only hate each other's guts on Wednesday nights. Does the SmackDown writers or whoever put this segment together not realize that they are going into a War Games matchup against each other? Why the fuck would Rhea Ripley have Shayna Baszler's back? Why would Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox be out there to defend Shayna Baszler? Stopping Bayley from leaving ringside. Don't tell me they weren't there to defend Shayna Baszler, because they were. They were there to stop Bayley from leaving the premises. Sure, it boiled down into an unnecessary 4-on-4 women's tag team matchup because,
oh, Survivor Series is coming. How do we get people excited for Survivor Series? We don't know how to do anything. So let's just do like mini Survivor Series matches all the way up to Survivor Series. So by the time we actually get to it, nobody gives a shit about these teams because we've already seen them in every carnation. We've seen teams win. We've seen teams lose. And who cares? Who cares? You're ruining something that has the potential to be special. And while I am not a fan of the 5-on-5-on-5 format for the Survivor Series this year, it presents itself to be something different. It presents itself to be something new. I'm confused about how the logistics are really going to work out. It's going to be triple threat rules, so there's always going to be 3 people in the ring, and then you're going to have the other girls outside the ring, and if I guess tag rules apply as normal. But I feel like it's going to make it all jumbled. It's going to make it just... I don't know. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. All I know is there was a better way to go about this. Perhaps maybe you don't have the War Games this month. I know you did it around Survivor Series last year in NXT, but maybe since you're having this inter-brand promotional war thing and you're having this gang-related warfare thing happening on this main roster storyline, maybe you don't want to have the same kind of thing happening on your show that actually contradicts everything you're trying to tell on the other show. These girls are not friends. Mia Yim just got pushed off of a ladder by Kaylee Ray. Looked like she took out her kneecap. This was just days ago. Live on the USA Network. And now here we are on Fox. Mia Yim's out there to help Shayna Baszler. Tell me that makes sense to you. Oh, well, they're NXT.
That don't mean anything. That don't mean anything. You could be NXT. You think I'm going to be okay if the Undisputed Era comes out and helps Tommaso Ciampa just because they're on Monday Night Raw this coming Monday? That would be fucking stupid. They're going up against each other in War Games. They're about to brutalize each other. They want to destroy each other, the women and the men. Why would they be teaming together? Why would they be helping each other out? It's a huge hole that nobody found before they went to air tonight. Those are just 2 of the blaring problems with what happened on tonight's awesome episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Friday Night Suckdown was in full effect from the minute this show hit the airwaves, because the first thing we seen was King Dickhead being brought to the ring by a caravan of schmucks holding him on this floating sedan like he was King Mabel. And I didn't give a shit. I didn't care. It didn't make him seem better or special. We're starting the show this week with a guy nobody gives a shit about. You could put any kind of bells and whistles on Baron Corbin that you want. The man's ship has sailed. He's going to just continue to make us hate professional wrestling. Not hate him. We're going to hate ourselves for watching this show every time his ridiculous ass comes out there. It makes me have to watch some fucking jackass in a dog suit come out and pretend to be Roman Reigns. This guy comes out dressed like a fucking Georgetown Hoyas team mascot and bows down to Baron Corbin, the king of all assholes, and he's got the two biggest numbnuts now as his running buddies. He's got Team Rudolph on his side. Why? Why do we have to have three-man teams everywhere we look? Why does anybody have to be involved with Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns? Oh, well, it's Survivor Series. They have nothing to do with Survivor Series. And then you book an opening segment. You book an opening segment tonight because Baron Corbin says so, essentially. He doesn't like that Shorty G, Chad Gable, and Mustafa Ali are on the team that he is on, which is captained by Roman Reigns. So why your opinion means anything, I don't know in the first place. The captain says this is the team, shut your mouth and fall in line. I don't give a shit about your stupid fake costume crown. It means nothing. It doesn't. It's just a waste. Just like the entire segment we were forced to put through was a waste. They put their spots. Shorty G, Chad Gable, and Mustafa Ali put their spots on the Survivor Series team on the line against Rude and Ziggler. All for Roman Reigns to come out and get involved and help his little buddies win. Chad Gable still walking around in a basketball suit 3 times too big for him. This match had some good action in it because all of the men involved are very good professional wrestlers. But what does it matter? Did you think they were going to replace them? No. So it was predictable. This was just to get a win for Gable and Ali to make Roman Reigns' team look good on the lead-in to Survivor Series. And now all we got for this, all we got for sitting through this ridiculous tag team match is a booking of a somewhat rematch next week. It's going to be 6-man tag. Roman and his 2 little new puppies versus the king dick of all dicks and his 2 jackasses. That's going to be your go home for Survivor Series. This was how this freaking show opened today. And right off the bat, within 20 minutes, I wanted to turn this garbage off. I started to barely pay attention. I started to check in on the tweets, started to see what social media was saying about the giant furry guy that had to show up on Monday Night Raw tonight. And everybody was pretty much in agreement from what I seen, which is, why are we watching this? Would you show this to a friend of yours? If they said, hey, listen, you're into this wrestling shit, right? I heard it's always a bunch of stupid stuff and it's for kids and it's nonsense. Why do you watch this stuff? Well, let me show you this segment of this ridiculous, bald-headed, dumbass king who wants to talk to a man in a costume which has nothing to do with anything going on. Why didn't they get Adam Rose's bunny and have him come out too? And then you could have had a tag team match for Rude and Gable versus them two. Rude and Gable. You see how mad they got me? I'm calling wrong teams here. Rude and Gable haven't been a thing in forever. I would have much rather them stayed a tag team than what we're getting right now. The entirety of this show was nonsense. Nonsense like this. Why did we need to see the Ali G show of Shorty G, Chad Gable, and Ali defeat Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler to change absolutely not one thing about Survivor Series? It was just to waste our time and get all these people on TV. And if there's no better reason to get them on TV, then keep them off of it. They followed this up with Bray Wyatt hosting the Firefly Funhouse. He changed the color of the Universal Championship like we already discussed and said he's excited for his new favorite show, or one of his favorite shows, Ms. TV. Ms. TV is Bray Wyatt's favorite show. Aren't you guys glad we know this? Aren't you guys happy that The Fiend is going to be tuning in to Ms. TV, which was a false tease by the time the end of the night was over? I really didn't care about anything else that was going on. They made it even worse. Still, they come back and they're talking about Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman agreeing to be a team last week, and then they beat up the B team. And now Braun Strowman is coming down to the ring, and in the ring is Drew Gulak and the B team. Do you know what's coming? Nothing. It's going to be a waste. We got to see some stupid graphic that Drew Gulak had made up about he was going to save Team SmackDown if he was on Team SmackDown. And all that happened was they tried to attack Strowman, this ridiculous trio of jobbers who aren't worth our time anymore, and then Strowman beat them up. He beat up 3 nobodies. Aren't you glad they wasted our time with this? We go to the back. Kayla Braxton is interviewing The New Day. Big E's talking about the Eagles beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl last year. They promised to retain their tag team championships tonight against the Revival. They wanted to have their pancakes, and Kofi Kingston doesn't seem to be bothered by anything anymore. He's just going through the motions, taking what they're giving him. And we're going to get this rematch, tag team matchup that we don't need to be seeing later on tonight. Then they wanted to cut to the back, and we see Sami Zayn and Shinsegae Nakamura approaching Daniel Bryan. Sami Zayn continues to harp on Daniel Bryan. Why don't you join our little clan here? He wants him to be a part of what he's doing with Shinsuke and Cesaro. And Daniel Bryan very smartly and very wisely shut him down. Oh, you're going to have my back? You're going to have my back against Bray Wyatt if he shows up tonight? Well, then why did you run away kicking and screaming like a little girl last week when The Fiend showed up and stuck his hands down my throat? Which was an excellent comeback, and I thought it was finally some logical writing. They didn't just forget about something. They did address something and go forward in the proper manner. So, hey, you get a snap for that. All right, hey, there you go. You get a fucking giant poop hammer for the whole opening 45 minutes of this show. I can't give it to any one person specifically, but the fact of the matter is, the whole entirety of this show deserves this poop hammer for SmackDown this week. Friggin' awfulness. Absolute awfulness. Why? Because we get a tag team championship rematch between the New Day and the Revival, which ends in a no contest anyway because the Undisputed comes out and destroys everything. The tag team matchup was good, but of course it's going to be good. These guys have been wrestling each other, and every time they get in the ring together, it's good. They're very good at what they do. I just wish it actually meant something. Did you expect the Revival to get the championships back only 7 days after losing them? No. Did you think they were going to give us back the match that we really wanted to see at the Survivor Series? No. Of course they're not going to do that to the New Day. We need the New Day and their star power to make it more alluring. If they were smart and they wanted to change up the tag team championships going into this thing and still make it interesting, they should have put it on Heavy Machinery and gave us another type of triple threat tag match we've never seen before, without giving us the old standards and the same old boring trope staples of having the pancake flipping, unicorn riding New Day being the flagship champions of SmackDown Live. Unnecessary. The only thing good that happened in this whole thing was watching Big E in the ropes doing this weird freaking, I don't know what he was doing. He was sitting in between the top rope and the second rope, and he had his legs spread, and it was kind of disgusting, but he sells it, man. Big E is freaking great. Big E is great. And he made me laugh with all his little gyrations into the ropes. It was very, very weird. Something just made me laugh, and I had to address that. Other than that, this was your standard matchup between these two teams. Nothing special about it that you haven't already seen before, with the exception of the interference by Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish, who delivered the beatdown until the SmackDown roster ran out for the save. And like I was saying, instead of using Heavy Machinery here, instead of using Heavy Machinery in the Survivor Series triple threat for the championships, you want to give me Heavy Machinery tonight on SmackDown versus Kip and Steven. Why did they do this? Why they did it with the Viking Raider, Warrior Raider experience Raiders, and now they're doing it with Heavy Machinery. You built them up to a point where we were seeing them wrestle actual tag teams, and now we are going to take 100,000 steps backwards and throw them against two no-name jobbers? Just so that Otis can do the fattest worm in the world? And call it the Caterpillar? Who gives a shit? How does this help Heavy Machinery look any good to anybody? Ridiculous. They recapped Bayley attacking Becky Lynch on Raw and Shayna Baszler on NXT this week. Kayla Braxton was interviewing Bayley in the back, and this was awkward as fuck. I don't know what it was, if it was just the way she was reading off the cue cards on the floor, but Bayley was in like this weird contorted position, like she was the little girl from The Ring or something, and she's got the belt on her shoulder, and she's just like doing her promo like this. And I'm just like, why? Stand up. Put your shoulders back. What are you doing? Don't be so obvious that you're reading the floor. I don't understand it. So Bayley was teasing joining Team SmackDown, which she's not going to be able to do because she's already in the championship matchup, and that's not going to happen. She's going to have a matchup tonight again with Nikki Cross, booking a rematch again. So I guess if Nikki Cross manages to win this matchup, she earns the spot. But I mean, this was never said, but I don't see any other reason why this matchup should be happening again. They got into it, and before you even know it, the women's champion from NXT, Shayna Baszler, showed up. Bayley ran away, but was then blocked off by Rhea Ripley, Tegan Nox, Mia Yim, and Dakota Kai. Once again, just to make sure everybody's totally clear, 4 women who actually, as of this minute, want to beat the shit out of Shayna Baszler and whoever else is on her side. At the very least, if they had a modicum of common sense, you would have had Io Shirai out there, you would have had Bianca Belair out there, and anybody else involved on Shayna Baszler's side. Not the 4 women she's going to go to war with in a steel cage just 6 days from now. We got your back, girl. I'm going to bash your face in on Saturday, but we got your back on Sunday. Unacceptable. This breaks down into an 8-woman tag team matchup. Sasha Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, and Nikki Cross. Dana Brooke and Carmella being involved immediately brings this whole entire segment down 50,000%. Rhea Ripley, Tegan Nox, Mia Yim, and Dakota Kai now are showing you their team skills, I guess, how they're going to be a team in War Games. They're getting a little bit of practice here. And sure, the moments that we got in this match were pretty good because we never seen Rhea Ripley wrestling on SmackDown Live before. We never seen her in the ring with a Sasha Banks before. But then you have Nikki Cross pinning Dakota Kai to get the win for her team here. And why is anybody winning and anybody losing? The way this match began, with the chaotic nature of how it started, there is no reason why it shouldn't have ended with the referee losing control of these 8 girls. They should have just got so hot-headed, just started brawling all over the arena, so that the referee had no choice but to call for the bell and double count out, double DQ, something like that, or just call for the bell. Boom, the referee lost control of this match. This match is over. While they just beat the hell out of each other, and then you go to commercial. Instead of staining the girls from NXT, who came in to make an impact and ended up walking out looking like a bunch of losers. You gonna tell me NXT stands a chance at Survivor Series? You think Vince is gonna let them look any good anywhere? I certainly don't. They talked about the Survivor Series card, which right now is shaping up to be a very, very fun night. We got some really good triple threat matchups between champions. We got some decent tag team matchups. We have Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio, which I actually don't give a rat's ass about. But we are going to have Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship, the BLUniversal Championship now. And this was all made on this Miz TV segment with Daniel Bryan. The Miz brought out Daniel Bryan, asked him why he thinks Bray Wyatt has targeted him, but Daniel Bryan refused to give an answer. The Miz pushed on again, and Daniel Bryan refused to give an answer again. Finally, Daniel Bryan decided he was going to break his silence and he was going to say something. He said the only reason why he's not saying anything is because Miz TV sucks. Miz TV has always sucked. Miz TV continued to suck. And I agreed with him on all of these points because Miz TV is just a really lame and cheap knockoff version of a Piper's Pit, and it'll never be anywhere near as relevant or as good as something like the Piper's Pit or the Snake Pit or the Brother Love Show or whatever, the Funeral Parlor. All of those things are more important than a Miz TV. Daniel Bryan then talked about his passion that the Miz doesn't understand because he doesn't have the same type of passion. And when you have passion plus a sick mental illness, it creates a completely different version of yourself. No, he's not the Daniel Bryan from 10 years ago. And sure, he wants to save the planet. But now he's this. He's unstable. He's admittedly unstable. And that's the perfect type of person to go head to head with an unstable Universal Champion in Bray Wyatt. And all of this made sense. And then you had the Firefly Funhouse and Bray Wyatt show up on the Titantron. And this is where it got kind of weird and it just kind of took a step off to me. Because, not that it was bad. It wasn't bad, but it definitely, I was expecting a Fiend attack. I was expecting something more dramatic than how this segment ended. I feel like there had to be something better. Because we had this back and forth between Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt, where they were chanting yes, no to each other. Bray Wyatt just wants to play with Daniel Bryan, or the Fiend remembers what Daniel Bryan did. And that's the most interesting aspect of it. And I think that any of you guys that have even this much intelligence and have watched professional wrestling for more than the last year know what Bray Wyatt is talking about. And we mentioned it on this show already too. Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan have a storied history. Daniel Bryan betrayed Bray Wyatt in the Wyatt family at one point a couple of years back. And they're probably going to bring that into this story, which I'm alright with. I'm alright with that because that's a story that never got concluded. That's a great way to continue the tale. Bray Wyatt is going to focus on Daniel Bryan based off of the harm and the damage he has already personally done to him. And the Fiend wants revenge for this moment. And I'm digging that whole aspect of it. What I'm not liking is the puppets popping up saying yes and Daniel Bryan saying no. And that whole... And then to top the whole thing off, once it's made clear that Bray and Daniel Bryan are going to be facing off for the BLUniversal Championship, The Miz, in a very cringeworthy and very underwhelming way, announces that it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt at Survivor Series. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Bray Wyatt didn't mention Survivor Series. Daniel Bryan didn't mention Survivor Series. So The Miz booked this match for the Survivor Series? Food for thought, because that was never mentioned. All I know is Bray Wyatt took the championship out of a toy box, which was a little apropos. Being they want to multicolor it like a child's toy and make it look like a child's toy. And guys, that was it. That was really it. Literally. We just went up and down the entire show. There was nothing. There was nothing here. With the exception of the booking of the matchup between Bray and Daniel. Other than that, what'd you have to get excited about? 2 minutes of decent action in a women's match and you're going to get all excited over that? Oh no, this was good. This was good. My ass. That was not good. It is far from good. It's the furthest from good you could ever be. It's awful, man. I don't know why we do it, but we do it. That's the bad thing about addiction. Just like with drugs and alcohol, it's not good for you. Smoking weed's not good for me, but I'm still going to do it. Drinking beer's not good for me, but I'm still going to do it. Watching Raw and SmackDown is definitely not good for me, but I'm still going to do it. At least I have the beer and you know, a little bit of this to Keep me fucking normal in the times in between. How about that? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
This is supposed to be a family show.
No, it's not. It's not intended for children. This is intended for mature adults. Children would enjoy SmackDown Live. Grown adults with functioning brains will not enjoy Friday Night SmackDown. You can call it SmackDown Live, Suck Down Live, Shit Down Live, Friday Night Shit Town, Suck Down, Ass Down, Face Down. That's how I feel like. I watch a show, I feel like I'm face down and ass up in the world, and everybody's just taking turns kicking me right in the ass. Boom, 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 boom. And it's all colored blue now. Now my ass is blue. The championship is blue. I'm blue now. I'm not going to start singing the song because I don't want to get hit with a copyright. Anyway, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be your review for Friday Night SmackDown. We got a little bit off the rails there because, I mean, this show makes me absolutely nuts. And while it makes for good TV for us and for you guys to come here and watch for me, it's definitely not good for my wrestling soul. Thankfully for that, we have NXTs on Wednesday. I'm sorry I haven't been getting the NXT reviews up to you guys, but let me tell you something. There's not enough time in anybody's life. You know, I have an actual job, a real job, and I have a daughter and a wife and a family that, you know, require my attention a lot more than doing a review of NXT, which is obviously good. Obviously good. I sit here and talk about NXT most of the time. I don't have anything that bad to say, and it's just not really worth it. It's not worth it. You guys don't come out to even really watch it the way you watch everything else. AEW reviews do very well. These reviews always do fantastic. So if you want more of those, you're just going to have to come out and watch more stuff because it's not really worth my time. And then I got to deal with being who I'm supposed to be when I'm not Nick Nightmare, which always and forever comes first and foremost. My girls always come first, and that you guys know probably for yourselves. All you parents, you know, the kids and the family always come first. But my family here in the Sledgehead family is definitely a very close second. I love you guys all so very much. Thank you for getting us up and over comfortably 2,000 as we march towards 3,000 and beyond. And you could be a part of that by becoming part of the newest, fastest rising, coolest faction of wrestling fans that are hitting the YouTube community like never before. Raise your own sledgehammer proud at home and smash that subscribe button right now. Become one of the over 2,000 plus that know when you want your wrestling news full of fun, full of honesty, and full of truth. And those might both be the same things, honesty and truth, but if you want that in your wrestling coverage, you can get it here, and you get it from a guy that's not calling you names, you get it from a guy that's not screaming in your face, you get it from a guy that's telling you exactly how it is, and exactly the way it should be. All of my sledgeheads know this is the number one place to be, and I'd like to see you guys come back for more. So please hit that subscribe button right now. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up if you had a good time today. If you liked anything I had to say, if I brought to light something you didn't understand before, smash that like button right now. And then share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, especially if maybe they enjoyed tonight's SmackDown just a little bit too much and were blind to the fact that most of the stuff we were seeing did not make sense. You now know where to direct them to get them educated and back on the right track as wrestling fans, as we only have each other, you guys. It's just us. We're alone in the world, but at least we have each other. And I can't thank you guys enough for being here with me each and every time. Don't forget my sledgeheads in the New York City area, or if you are going to be in and around the New York City area, please, if you can, make it out to the NYC Arena. For most of you guys, it's going to be Saturday right now, so it's later this afternoon. It's going to be a celebration of the life of professional wrestler Matt Travis, a good friend of mine and a training brother for us at House of Glory that we lost unexpectedly and very sadly. And I would love nothing more than to have the Sledgehead Army come out in full force, and you could come and meet me. You could come out, you could meet Kurt Angle, you could come out and meet Mick Foley, Devon Dudley is going to be there, TJP is going to be there, and a whole slew of more superstars that are going to come out and help us celebrate the life of somebody who deserves each and every minute of this very special night, and I hope to see you guys there. Don't forget to come up to me if you show up. I want to know you're there. We'll take a picture, we'll get it out on social media, and we'll make the world remember the name of Matt Travis. So that, my friends, is going to do it. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is the Team Thor, the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. His tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Snowball, the most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you. Don't forget to check out everything else you might have missed on the channel, including our review of AEW, our Monday Night Raw hammering, and Full Gear's review is up there. The most divisive Full Gear review on the market, guaranteed. Everything is there for your viewing pleasure. Don't forget to check all that stuff out. I would appreciate it very much if you do. And the Sledgehammer series, where I drew The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and many more. Go check all that stuff out. It'll be linked in the annotations up above. That, my friends, is going to do it, and we are out of here. And we will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV right here on YouTube.com. Boom.